Helio Gracie was a true innovator in the world of martial arts. Born in Brazil in 1913, he would go on to create a fighting style that revolutionized how we think about combat. That style is known today as Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it has become one of the most effective martial arts in the world. What made Helio so special was his understanding of leverage and technique over brute strength. He realized that a smaller, weaker person could use jiu-jitsu to defend themselves against and even defeat a much larger opponent. This was a radical idea at the time, and it flew in the face of traditional martial arts thinking. Helio's journey began with Judo, a Japanese grappling art. He learned the fundamentals from his brother Carlos, but Helio was a small man, and he found that many Judo throws were difficult for him to execute against larger opponents. Undeterred, Helio started to experiment, adapting the techniques to suit his physique. This process of adaptation led to the birth of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It focused heavily on ground fighting, where leverage and technique could be used to neutralize the strength and size of an opponent. Helio's innovations would change the face of martial arts forever. Helio Gracie was not a big guy. He was often the smaller person in a fight, but he didn't see that as a disadvantage. He saw it as an opportunity to develop a system that worked for everybody, regardless of size or strength. Traditional judo relied heavily on throws that used a lot of upper body strength. Helio modified these throws, finding ways to use his hips and legs to generate power instead. This made the techniques more efficient and accessible for smaller individuals. He also developed a whole new set of techniques specifically designed for fighting on the ground. Judo at the time focused on stand-up grappling and throws. Helio realized that the ground was where a smaller person could truly control a larger opponent. He developed techniques for taking an opponent down, controlling them on the ground, and eventually submitting them with chokes or joint locks. These techniques, often referred to as ground fighting, became the hallmark of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. The core principle behind Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is leverage. Leverage is about using technique and body mechanics to overcome a larger, stronger opponent. Helio Gracie understood this principle better than anyone. He knew that by using the right leverage, a smaller person could generate enough force to control and submit a larger opponent. Think of it like a lever and fulcrum. With the right positioning, a small amount of force on one end of the lever can move a much heavier object on the other. That's how Gracie Jiu-Jitsu works. Helio developed techniques that used the hips, legs, and body weight to create leverage against an opponent's joints and limbs. This allowed him to apply chokes and joint locks that could subdue even the strongest attackers. This emphasis on leverage is what makes Gracie Jiu-Jitsu so effective. It takes the fight to the ground, where size and strength matter less, and technique reigns supreme. Helio Gracie's influence on martial arts is undeniable. He proved that size and strength weren't everything in a fight. He showed the world that technique, leverage, and strategy could be just as, if not more, important. His teachings have spread throughout the world, with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu academies popping up in almost every country. His family has continued his legacy, producing generations of world-class fighters and instructors. But Helio's legacy extends beyond the mat. He taught his students the importance of discipline, respect, and self-confidence. He believed that jiu-jitsu could empower individuals and give them the tools to defend themselves and those they loved. Helio Gracie passed away in 2009, but his legacy continues to inspire millions of people around the world. He was a true pioneer who revolutionized the martial arts world.